Hi guys, welcome back to ADM Tech. Just want to say a massive thank you for all the love this week. I couldn't ask for a better first week in YouTube, absolutely not. I'm here to talk and discuss foldable devices, where I stand on them, and whether or not I think they're actually practical. The idea, the principle behind a foldable device sounds amazing. A device that saves me space in my jeans, in my joggers and anything, that is exactly what I want, you know? Because sometimes your phone's just too big for you. The Samsung Fold 2, Z Fold 2, whatever they've decided to call it. I've been really digesting the Samsung event and just thinking about this device constantly. Is it the right form factor? Is this what's going to push foldable tech, or are Samsung not really focusing in the right areas? Obviously, we have to consider, technology in the display, the foldable tech, the hinges and all that stuff. It's brand new. It's being tested. It hasn't had a life to really grow and mature, has it? It's been a very short lifespan for devices like these. For me personally, I think the Z Flip's a lot better. I think people, the average consumer, the person who's not watching tech videos on YouTube, the person who's not interested in phones or anything like that, if they see something they can fold up, it's fantastic. It's a perfect blend of nostalgia from devices like the Razr. Yeah, it's modern. It's got a lovely screen. It's got an amazing camera. That's a product line that I'm excited about. I'm hoping Samsung make the changes that are necessary for those devices, because the flip range could really be quite exciting. The Z Fold. Is the Z Fold the device for you? Are you going to go pick one up? Depending on the price, obviously. Do you need the ability to just fold out your phone? Obviously, it sounds good. It sounds like a good idea, but is it practical? Right now, we're seeing all these talks about privacy and people's, security and people's kind of anxiety about, all of these sorts of stuff, and the idea of, I picture someone who's sitting on a train or a bus or in a car or, in a stadium somewhere. Obviously, no one's in a stadium right now, but this is probably more related to last year's fold. But having to unfold something draws more eyes to you. If I've just got my phone here and I'm folding it out, you're going to be like, hang on, what? Are people going to be comfortable with that? Is that extra step of having something bigger really what people need? So I think, to sort of summarise my thoughts on this thing, I think we could be on the verge of something super exciting with foldable technology. It has to be perfected. It has to be practiced. Quite frankly, right now, what Samsung announced with the Z Fold, I just don't think it's going to push the boundaries for the consumer to care about it. I can't see the elderly generation. I can't see people who are older than 30, 40 going out into shops and buying a Z Fold. I just can't see it. A Z Flip, however, maybe so. We go back to a sort of stadium concept. You're in a stadium, you go on a bus, you're in a car, wherever. You're not folding it out, you're folding it in. You can access that screen on the front if it's a bigger display. You're having a little bit more security over the thing. You're not going to drop it either because it's a lot smaller. So there's all these sorts of things that you need to consider. You're not going to have that risk element of people looking at you and thinking, hey, hang on a minute, you got some money there. You can be quite secretive if you're making something smaller, do you know what I mean? So that's just kind of where my brain's going. I really can't see people walking into a phone shop and saying, I want this new Z Fold, because it just hasn't had the aging yet. It just hasn't had the experience of a market just yet. And we don't know much about it. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know, what it actually does. What is Samsung going to do that makes people more attracted to this thing? What's Samsung's game plan? Because there's definitely a reason Samsung are making us wait for it. Is it not ready? Are they scared to announce a price in the middle of a pandemic? Is it going to be like $2,000 again? Because, yes, you could argue it's got better specs, it's got a better screen this time, but where do we draw the line? They're literally charging you $1,000 for a plastic phone, This thing folds. For me, I think that 6 to 7 inch screen size, maybe even 7 inches too much. 6 to 6.8 maybe is probably the perfect size for a phone. I don't look at my phone. I don't look at this iPhone 11 and say, I wish you could be a little bit bigger. If anything, I want it to be smaller. And that's where I'm thinking. I'm sort of trying to draw the line, draw the parallels between what I think and what I think the average consumer is going to think about it, So that's just where I kind of stand on it. I think we're on the brink of something massive. I think, foldable text is a really exciting thing, and it's new and it's nice to have something a little bit more exciting, but there has to be a reason for it, and so far we haven't quite seen a reason for it just yet. The average consumer is not going to think, I want that. Samsung can paint it in Mystic Bronze if they want. There's no reason why you'd go out and buy a Z Fold. Why would you buy one today? Would you? So, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Hit me up over on Twitter at ADNTechYT. Leave me a like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you in the next one.